Hello, everyone. We are so excited that you're with us today, and we are talking all about how to attract agents to your team or your brokerage, and we're talking about how to take things to the next level. So let me introduce our guests. I'll just have you say a 1 minute spiel about you. So Kyle Whissel, welcome.
What's up, guys? Kyle Whissel. I run Whissel Realty Group in San Diego, California. We have a team of 110 agents, and last year we were the number one team in the world with EXP. Sold over $600 million last year. So I'm excited to be on here to share. Happy to have Matt and Mark a part of the family with us now, and looking forward to today.
Awesome. Mark, welcome. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are. So my name is Mark Coppens. I founded and was the chairman of Living Vogue Real Estate. We just made the transition. Well, I should say we're transitioning now in the heat of that to EXP, partnering with EXP. Before that, we had about 100 agents at the top point last year, down from that a little bit. But we do about 150 to 200 million a year. A lot of stuff in the luxury market here in Sarasota, Florida. So I think our highest listing last year was 15 million that we sold, all the way down to $150,000 condos. So excited to be with you guys, and Matt is my business partner. Matt's was the broker. Now we're both associate brokers, but he's on here as well.
Awesome. Matt, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, ma'am. So Mark already said we're business partners in Living Vogue, now switching over obviously to EXP, which we're excited about. But I got started with Mark several years ago when we just had about 4 or 5 agents. And like you said, we built it up to 100. And obviously we've had some fluctuations in there. But now just really excited to join EXP and take it to the next level.
Awesome. Dan Beer, welcome.
What's up, guys? Just out of the cold plunge and then to back-to-back meetings. So here's how I look right now. I'm going to be in a suit a little bit, running a home selling workshop. I have a team in San Diego, done over 3 billion in sales over the years, and just lots of fun building this incredible community we call Fast Forward Movement at EXP. Started this up with Kyle years back, and it's only gotten better with people like yourselves being a part of it. So fun to jump in.
Well, I want to talk about what agents are looking for in 2025. Like the core needs of agent hasn't changed as much, but it has changed. And I want to talk about, what do you think agents want right now? Like if you had to say, and I'll open up the floor, what is it that they need? What is it that they want?
Well, it's easy. They want to just join a brokerage or a team, and then every Friday just walk to the bank and collect a check without doing any work. Like that's what they want. It's pretty easy, right?
Yeah, they want the easy button for sure. The done for you button.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what they all want, is they want to make the most amount of money possible with the least amount of effort. And if they could just go pick up a check every Friday, they would love it. But the reality is they want to be in an environment where they feel very supported, where they have access to tools, they have access to leadership, they have access to mentorship that's going to help them accomplish their goals as quick as possible with as little headache and stress as possible. Which, Matt, I got to imagine not being the broker anymore, like your stress level is going to like just
I'll tell
diminish.
you what, yeah, both Mark and I had said, like, this is what we've been looking for.
Yeah, I've actually like gained some color back in my hair since I stopped being the broker. Like I think my
I'm
hairline's
hoping
coming down. I'm getting like brown back in my hair instead of gray. Like it's the best.
I'll let you know when this starts coming back.
So what else? What else do you feel like that they want?
You know, we always heard support, right? They want more support and more people to be able to reach out to.
Yeah, I agree. There, people are wanting training and support and tools and leads and being able to create long-term wealth and passive income. And for you as an independent brokerage to shoulder all of those needs that the agents want is very, very heavy. And it really makes it where people, it's stressful. So Mark, tell us a little bit about Living Vogue, kind of your agent count, your production, and a little bit about some of the pain that you were experiencing that led to exploring your options.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to, we grew up to about 100 agents at kind of the peak of the industry. And it's just Matt and I, right? So it became very clear to us that in order for us to scale our growth, continue to have that growth, but really just to retain, the other side of this coin is not just attracting agents, but how do you retain them, right? You can attract 1,000 agents, but if they don't actually make any money, then it's kind of a moot point. So it just became obvious for us that the two of us couldn't do everything, right? I think Matt said it best. Our agents specifically, they wanted support, and whether that was calling you at 8 o'clock to write a contract, or just basic questions, they wanted to be able to talk to somebody and have kind of that immediate feedback. That when it's just the two of us, we weren't able to provide. I mean, we're both practicing agents, so besides running a brokerage, we're off doing sales on our own. So for us at least, the decision came down to who can we partner with that provided us the most remote tools, right? So when Matt and I are not available, what brokerage can step in and provide the most support, whether it be on a phone call or in a virtual world. Or just the training, the coaching, the mentoring, all that stuff that if we could, replicate ourselves, by 10, it'd be easy, right? And we'd probably still be an independent brand at that point. But it's just not realistic, right? So EXP, from what we looked at, we did some due diligence. They're the best of the best when it comes to remote tools and training and support. So we're maintaining our brick and mortar location. So it allows us to kind of marry the best of both worlds, right? So agents have 2 team leads they can look to for immediate help and that continuity. They have an office they can come into, if that's their business model. While at the same time, leveraging a huge brand that has all the training and resources and mentorship and opportunities that we just would never be able to provide.
So one of the memes that I don't know if you guys saw it around like December 27th, around that time, people started posting these little memes that said, I don't mean to brag, but I have enough money where I don't have to work for the rest of the year. And people would look at it, and it's like, yeah, you have enough money because there's only 5 days left in the rest of the year. But I think our ultimate goal, right, for ourselves, and not only that, but for the agents that work under us, is where someone could say, I don't have to work for the rest of the year if I don't want to, or I don't have to work at all. There's people in our upline that they would never have to work another day in their life if they didn't want to. They love what they do and they still do. But if they didn't want to, they would be in a position where they don't have to work for the rest of the year. So I'd love for you to kind of talk about some of the success stories, Kyle or Dan, that we've seen with people that are in our downline that are just crushing it. If you guys don't mind talking about that. And I also want you to talk a little bit about, our unique value proposition. Some people call it a USP. Some people call it just a value proposition, but really to kind of have that retention rates where your recruiting becomes effortless and your retention rates increase because we have such a unique value propositions for all of the agents.
I can answer that real quickly in the context of a conversation that I just had, and it's live. You can see it. It's on my Facebook page with Jen Lay, and we're having this great conversation. So first off, the unique value proposition of what we're doing and what we're building is we have a coaching organization that's obsessed, literally obsessed. We have a standing weekly meeting just to roll out programs on how to impact agents, a coaching organization that doesn't ever have to take your credit card. Keep it in your pocket. We'll never swipe it. And the reason why is because the company incentivizes us. Like they take care of us as soon as you win. And the coolest thing about it is they don't pay us a dime if you don't sell a house. So the value prop is that, like Jen Lay, she was spending $30,000 a year on coaching, which she no longer spends. But that's the surface of it, because the best part of the conversation we had is, like, it was just really cool, because talking about all that she gives back and how important it is that she goes and sells 150 homes this year, and she's dead set on it. You can see it on her face, dead set on it. But why? She gets into the fact that, well, a year ago she gave away $77,000 through her give back program, and how much she wants to give away now. And then she rattled off the school and the community and these orphan kids, and she's just rattling off everything that she's impacting. And so long story short is that there's that time when you go from like the struggle bus, right? Maybe like the beat up car that's unreliable, and like you move up from that to like a good, like just modern functioning vehicle. And that's an important change in your life. Like that really does matter. It impacts you. It's better. But when you go from that to then just like to the Porsche or to the Rolls, like it's nice, but it doesn't nearly impact you like the way people think it would when they're trying to get there. Once you're actually like that, those are just really far less meaningful changes in your life than that first huge bump. So then what really makes a difference, what really fills you, is that contribution and freedom, and just getting options in your life, having the opportunity to spend it the way you want, like you were talking about, Chantel. And so the value prop here is get surrounded by people like her. She was in an environment where she was the top producer. Now she's not even like number 100, and she loves it, because she has this huge runway to now grow. And it's not for the better vehicle at this point. Her vehicle's good enough. I mean, it's nice. I don't know what she drives, but trust me, it's good enough. It's for the contribution she wants to make. And she's going to do that through having a stronger sales year. So we are obsessed with selling more homes, having bigger businesses and all that, but just never losing sight on why. It's for what we can do with it. And we never have to charge anyone for it. It's a coaching organization that doesn't swipe your credit card.
You guys, some of you are doing the old way of real estate instead of the new way. So the old way is magazines, open houses, newspapers, door knocking, cold calling, pop buys. A lot of you are like, what the heck is a pop buy? So if you're younger, that's where you just pop by someone's house and you say, hey, I was popping by, I thought about you, and give them a little $5 gift. Well, guess what? If you're still doing things the old way, I want to teach you how to do it the new way. And that is through social media, video, running ads, and digital marketing. And we have a course that you can get all on digital marketing. I want to show you, go to chantelray.com/course and learn the new way of digital marketing. chantelray.com/course. One of the things I think that's so important for me, they talk about in all the leadership books is servant leadership, where it's the leadership philosophy where the goal of the leader is to serve. And I will tell you, the people who are in our upline, really our goal is to serve. And what happens is I know for me, when I was running the brokerage and doing everything that I had to do, and you're wearing so many hats of doing that, you don't really have anything left in you to serve, because you're so exhausted, you're wearing so many hats. But when you're able to do that, then you can say, okay, now I can pour back into my people because I have so much more time. And then you can say, okay, are the people under me, are they healthier? Are they wiser? Are they freer? Are they more autonomous? Are they able to do what they need to do because of that? So I'd love for you, Mark or Matt, either one, to kind of talk about what have you been able to free up now that you can kind of delegate all these other things out? How does this help yourself, and then in turn really be able to empower your agents?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. I mean, there's a lot, right? I think ultimately, so let me just go back. When we were initially looking at this, we were looking at, not only joining EXP, but what kind of team are we joining? Are we joining a team that is also going to pour into our agents, which, that's what we found. So it's just on the first Monday meeting yesterday, and that was phenomenal. So much great information in there. So I think the key was to make sure that we had again, not only the support, but the resources for agents to reach out to. So what is it taking off our plate? A lot. Now we're still doing the onboarding process. We're still getting some agents on. So we haven't dived into everything, but just in the short time that we've done this, the tools and resources and the people we've been able to connect with, I can already tell are going to alleviate a lot of the burden that we had as a brokerage.
So I'd love for Dan or you and Kyle to kind of talk about some of the things that we offer. One of the things that I offer to all of our agents is I have a agent attraction funnel, a buyer funnel, and a seller funnel that we give to our agents, which is really helping them grow their business. But talk a little bit more about some of the value propositions that we do offer and how people are literally 3Xing and 4Xing their business if they're taking advantage of it.
So the beauty of the EXP model is that we're financially incentivized by the company to pour in to everybody who joins Fast Forward Movement alongside of us. And so the way that we pour into people is with, Matt mentioned one of the masterminds that we had on Monday, which we have a mastermind that we do every Monday that we've had hundreds of people on every single Monday for years on end right now. I would argue it's probably the most attended weekly mastermind in real estate. I don't know of anybody who can get that many people on a mastermind every single Monday, week after week after week. And I think that's a true testament to the quality of the mastermind where, we typically will pick 3 topics. And then you have people chiming in from this group, many of which are 50, 100, 200, 300, $400 million producers that are chiming in to help and pour into the group, because when one of us wins, we all win, which is the beauty of this model. And then we have a variety of different masterminds. So whether somebody's coming in as a brand new agent, we have a mastermind for you. If you're a high performing solo agent, we have a mastermind for you. If you're building a small team, we've got a mastermind for you. If you're running a big team, we got a mastermind for you. If you focus on Spanish speaking clients, we have a mastermind for you. If you are a lady leader, we've got a mastermind for you. So we obsess, Dan and I on a daily basis about what does our group need? And we're really trying to make sure we give them access to masterminds that are very niche down to the specific needs that they have to help them grow their business. And again, as we do that and we pour into everybody, as everybody wins, we win right there alongside them. It's my favorite part of the model.
Dan, I'd like for you to try to just explain in the easiest terms of kind of some of the new things that EXP is doing, kind of like, the first 3 levels opening up, level 4 and 5 opening up, 6 and 7, and just some of the, really explaining to people how the rev share model works and some of the new and exciting things that, it literally, every time I turn around, it's like, kind of like Oprah, like you get a car and you get a car. I feel like EXP leadership right now, they're like, oh, and now you get this and now you get this and boom, 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 just it's kind of crazy. So for people who haven't heard some of the exciting things, talk about that.
Well, I think the most exciting thing is the new initiative is the Fast Cap program that is just seeing agents get into production like laser speed, documented. Again, ask for the data. You'll be pretty amazed at what's going on there. So in fact, they've expanded the program to happen, to launch more often. And so that is a really exciting thing because nothing happens without successful agents. And I've always said that the company that would crush the industry, just like dominate, would be the rev sharing model that behaves like Keller Williams philosophically and wanting to build the best real estate business. And so EXP's there. We've nailed it. It is awesome to see what's happening. On the rev share side, to explain what's going on there, one of the most significant moves is it used to be that, let's say you found a Chantel, a Kyle, a Mark, or a Matt, and someone really that was suddenly grew and had hundreds of agents or thousands of agents under them, but that was the one person you got personally. Well, you really never saw the revenue from all of them. And this is still how most of these, how the environment looks in the industry with the rev sharing models, except for EXP. EXP has decided that through the first 3 levels, regardless of your of how many other people you've brought in, regardless of how much you've produced, regardless of any of it, you're going to be paid. So that's a really significant change, particularly for people that run brokerages, for people that are recruiters at brokerages, for team leaders at market centers that want to bring their skill set here and want to be paid quickly without having to wait to build width. And I'm trying to keep it simple, so someone catch me if I complicate it. So that's a really significant thing. Now back to the fact that the company is obsessed with rewarding productive agents for the business of real estate, period, is now if you simply cap, they are opening up your first 5 levels to where 5 of those people. So you brought in Chantel, who brought in Kyle, who brought in Mark, who brought in, Tina, who brought in. So you are receiving income passively from them all just because you capped as a producer. And that's awesome. And finally, the last car, right, that Oprah's giving away here, Chantel, that I can think of is if you icon, which is not only did you cap, but you became a really productive agent. It means you iconed and then capped and then did an additional 20 transactions. Well, then they're paying you through 7 levels of growth. So if you don't understand the nuances or the detail of what I'm saying, here's what you need to know. For doing the job of real estate, which is what you got licensed to do to begin with, the company is passing revenue on to you because they believe that because of your success as an agent, you're directly or indirectly helping the company grow because agents are producers are attracted to producers, and you are being rewarded through the rev share system. So those are 3 things that I love. My first, again, being just the fast cap system because it's rooted in the one thing we're here to do, which is to help people buy and sell homes. And as leaders, all of us on a call like this, we're here to help agents do that more efficiently, do that easier with less obstacles. That's why we call it the fast forward movement. They're going to get to go faster because they get to learn from what's been working for us and also what didn't work for us, so they don't have to make the same mistakes.
Kyle, what else would you want to tell people about some of the great incentives that we keep adding in?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just all about figuring out what do people need in a shifting market. So whether it's the big changes with NAR that, happened last year, or there was going to potentially be some stuff happening with phone calls and following up with leads and stuff. This is a group where you're learning from people who are actively producing. In fact, in the month of January, 9 of the top 10 teams in the country are all part of Fast Forward movement. And so being able to get in a room with people like this, I'm a part of Dan and I have an event, in 2 weeks, Dan, that we both pay $25,000 a year. Each of us pay $25,000 a year to be a part of a group to get around people that are at the level that we want to get to. And that's in the development space. Or I was at an event a week ago with a bunch of high net worth individuals that are way ahead of where I'm at. I was 1/5 of the average net worth of the people that are in that room. The thing that we've learned over our careers is if we can get ourselves into the rooms with people that are way further ahead of us, they can help us get where we want to go a whole lot faster. And that's where the Fast Forward movement name comes from, is by aligning with people that are at or above your level. It's going to fast forward your ability to accomplish your goals. And so it's great to have people like Matt and Mark and their whole team and their reputation. I was just in Florida and I mentioned their name to some people. You guys have a great reputation, by the way. People knew of you guys. They knew of your office. So by having, people like that, this group keeps getting stronger. Chantel, your marketing is legendary in this real estate industry. And you start putting all of this brain power together, everybody is going to win. And we're going to get so much further, so much faster together.
As you guys know, my grandmother lived to 102 years old. She lived by herself and she died in her own bed. But the last 2 years, she needed help, kind of someone to be there 24 hours a day. If you think about it, if you want to die in your own bed and you need help when you die, think about 24 hours a day times just $25 an hour to pay someone, which is low. 24 hours a day times 365 days, that comes out over $200,000. So you have to find a way that you can be making passive income so that you're at least, at a very minimum, making over $200,000 a year while you sleep. And so I give you some really great ideas. Go to chantelray.com/passive so you can watch the free webinar, and I give you tons of great passive income ideas. We were in a room together, Kyle, me and you and Dan. There were less than 300 people. And in that room, over $198 million was given out to those 300 people in passive income, just to, those people. It was insane. And a lot of times I hear people say, well, I love my broker. I'm happy where I'm at. And what I would say to them is, did your broker pay you millions of dollars in passive income? Yes or no? That's number one. And number two, there's also a company out there that also does rev share, but you have to be in production in order to get that rev share. And what I'm saying to everyone is that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. Your whole goal for passive income is so you don't have to be in production. And people do not know that. And I'll say one last thing about, there's so many companies out there that are massively in debt. Okay. Would you date somebody that was massively in debt and wasn't making any profit? No, you wouldn't, but yet you would join a company that was like that? Absolutely not. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, Mark and Matt, tell us, what are you most excited about? Like right now, like your agents are excited, you guys are excited. Some of the things you're most excited about, share with us.
Running a brokerage is very difficult. For we see agents all the time, that, maybe they work for a large brand and they just want to go off on their own and start their own brokerage. And you try to be encouraging, but it's if you want to sell more than just yourself, right? So if you want to bring on additional agents and create a true brokerage, it is one of the hardest jobs. And honestly, as an independent brokerage, there's not a ton of money in it, and it's going to take up most of your life, right? So for me, it's I look at the effort that I put into running a brokerage and the financial impact and stress and kind of the cost benefit analysis of that, versus focusing on the things I like, right? I like working with people and clients and working on a mentor and coaching level with agents. And I really wasn't able to do any of that, right? Because you're focusing on the daily grind, the administrative burden, all that of running the brokerage. So I'm most excited about handing off a lot of that workload, frankly, to EXP and the EXP backbone, and really just focusing on the things that I'm passionate about. One, I'm going to make more money doing that, which is always nice. But two, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I know I have different priorities now in my life, and my work-life balance is going to look a little better. So I'm excited kind of that, personally. We're still working through what are we going to provide, our upline and downline, like what's our value proposition. We're a little different in that our location is very important to us. So we have a retail space really right downtown, high foot traffic. We call it a showroom, right? And it's very glamorous and vibey. We're going to maintain that, right? So for our local agents that we attract, they're going to have that resource. They're going to have an office. They're going to have administrative support. They're going to have a ton of walk-in leads, video studio, all that traditional stuff. Access to Matt and I. And then I think, the thing that I think is going to differentiate us a little bit, and we'll look at setting up our own mastermind sort of classes and things. But, I'm relatively new to this, right? I've been doing this for 8 years, I think. And it, I went from nothing, right? From someone that literally, I took a Groupon to get my license, right? Not a lot of people know about that. From that to selling, I think 20, 30 million in my first 2 years, up to 80 million at some point. I can speak firsthand of what it takes to go from a basic agent, to selling in the luxury market in a relatively short time frame, and then being very consistent with it. That's all I do now really is dabble in the luxury side. I'm able to provide that. And like you guys have been saying, there is no secret sauce, right? I'm incentivized for people to learn and increase their production, right? So I'm willing to share everything. Everything's on the table. And that's what drives me. My passion is being able to closely mentor and coach people to increase their production and to get in the luxury market. So for me, it's focusing on the right priorities in life and leveraging the brand to help me get through the things that were a little painful. But yeah, we're still going through this right now, but we're definitely very excited for the future.
I love that. And I think for everyone listening right now, like if you're saying, I want to grow, I want to be better, but sometimes growth happens by subtraction. And that means sometimes you might say, I'm having to give up my brokerage to be more. And when God wants to bless you, sometimes he has to take things out of your life. And when he wants to bring increase, he has to remove a thing. And God always prunes you before he produces something through you. And so I just think that, I know for me, one of the best decisions I ever made was for me to partner with EXP. It was such a blessing. And at the beginning, you think, oh, I'm having to give up something. But again, if you want to grow, sometimes you have to grow through subtraction. And that's when you have massive increase. Any final words, Matt, on what you are just most excited about?
Well, I'll definitely second what Mark said. But to add on top of that, and I'll keep this short, one of the things I'm most excited about is the Fast Cap program. So we have a group of our agents who are new to real estate, and that's always been something that's been hard, is coaching them on what they need to do and making sure that they show up. So I'm excited to see what happens with this Fast Cap program, see their success, and just all the results that are going to come from that.
And I think the one other thing I want to talk about is a lot of people don't realize that EXP now has a massive leads program where you pay nothing up front at all. And it's just a 35% referral fee when it closes. And so getting involved in that, because even if you're a small brokerage leader and you're handing out leads to people, that is exhausting. So getting agents involved, and they only give those leads out. They do Zillow leads and realtor.com leads and all kinds of leads. They pay for them. You just do a 35% referral fee, and they have coaches that'll help you close those deals as well. Final thoughts, Kyle Whissel.
Yeah, just if you guys are watching this, like if this sounds like something you guys want to be a part of, like reach out to Chantel, to Mark, to Matt, let them know that you're interested. They'll give you a guest pass so you can hop on these masterminds that we're talking about, so you can really get a taste of what we do on a regular basis. There's 10 different masterminds that you have access to. So reach out to them. They'll give you the info so that you can hop on one of these. Because we could talk about these things till we're blue in the face and tell you they're great, but until you actually hop on one and experience it, then you'll really understand it. So reach out to them. They will get you guys dialed in, and I hope to see you on one of those masterminds soon.
Yes. And we can put in, if you are interested in one of those masterminds, you can reach out to Mark, you can reach out to Matt. We'll put their contact information in the chat. And we just are so glad you're with us today. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great one.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being with us.